Hey, so we're live. So,
We live?
hi. Yeah, looks like it.
Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Toggle podcast, the first, not even a podcast, it's a webinar. Sorry, so it's the first webinar we've ever done. It's new to me, new to Stephen, new to the business. So yeah, it's been learning new software, what a webinar is, what to get out of a webinar, what not to wear on a webinar. Apparently, my 6-month old grey jumper that I've been wearing over lockdown is not good enough. So what I've done is replaced it with a grey t-shirt. So we did a little run through. It was all fine. So hopefully there won't be any interruptions with dogs or anything else that seems to be the peril of video calls during lockdown. So I'm going to run through, do a little introduction, who we are, what we're going to learn today, and we'll crack on with it. So you guys will be familiar with Toggle. Many of you will be existing customers. Many of you will be prospective customers. And some of you may or may not have seen the little community logo down there on the bottom of the screen. So if you are a Toggler, you'll be familiar with that logo. It's the logo that we put on all of our emails that we send out every week for updates for the platform. And what the community is it's all of our Togglers coming together, and we like to bring them together, call them a community, and kind of impart wisdom to them, share our knowledge of the industry, learn from them ourselves, put out tips, hints, and tricks. And this webinar series is the latest kind of incarnation of what we're doing in the community. And before we launch, I'll just do a little introduction of who's speaking today. I am Andrew Whiteley. My official title is Chief Experience Officer, which unfortunately is not abbreviated to CEO. Try as I might, apparently Chief Executive Officer has dibs on that one, but it is abbreviated to CXO, and any job title with the letter X in it is pretty cool. So what do I actually do though? All sorts of stuff, but on kind of when we're talking about Toggle and the platform, I look after the user interface and the user experience of the platform. So quite literally what you're looking at in the dashboard on the web shop, how it works, what you click through, as well as the actual whole experience from when you first hear about Toggle to getting set up, and how that whole process works as well. And we also have Stephen with us, and I'll let him introduce himself.
So I'm Stephen, and I am the customer success, the Toggle super guru. And basically, I'm here to help you guys get set up on Toggle when you first sign up. And I'm also here to help you get set up along the way to help you improve your Toggle web shop and to entice more sales. I also do other things like do support articles. So if you don't want to come to me for help, you can go to my support articles and read through them. There's some videos on those support articles as well to help you along. So that's in a nutshell what I do.
Okay. So yeah, Stephen's super instrumental in kind of any Toggler that is on board with us. So I'm sure if you're with us, you'll already know his name. So I don't think we can start this and chat about how to maximize Toggle without mentioning how we got here in the first place, and of course mentioning lockdown and coronavirus. Sick of death to talking about it, but it's the biggest thing to hit our industry in a very, very long time. So a little rundown of how we got here, not as long as a This Is Your Life episode. So first of all, there was lockdown, so hospitality closed, and one of the first things that brought upon was a really big upwelling of support for independents and chain restaurants from their customers. And the way that manifested itself was gift cards in a lot of cases. And so we saw a lot of sign-ups in early lockdown, because suddenly people were thinking, I need to be able to sell gift cards and sell gift cards online, do it quick and easily. And so we were really honored to be able to provide a platform that allowed people to do that. And on top of that, we also made Toggle free. We were in a position to do it. We owe a lot to the hospitality industry that's given us so much over the years. So it was our way of helping out during the crisis. And yeah, we got a lot of sign-ups and a lot of sales through that really help people plug cash flow hole through lockdown. So that was really, really great. We kept it free from the beginning of lockdown, and we actually ended that at the 1st of September, but we're still in a kind of £1,000 free buffer at the moment before sales are getting made. So many of you will be in that at the moment. The nature of lockdown and people getting signed up with us meant that we saw lots of people go live very quickly, which is amazing. You know, the platform's built for it. You can sign up and you can be selling gift cards within an hour, but it does mean that you're only scratching the basics, the very surface of the Toggle platform. And so this is another reason why we're doing this webinar series, is actually we've got all of these amazing togglers on board who have done really well with selling gift cards, but are doing it the kind of the base level setup. And so we're here to scratch a bit deeper and make it so your web shop is ready for the, well, we're going to talk about Christmas in a second, but the massive hockey stick growth, as it's called, where the sales just shoot through the roof. And where is here? So how did we get here, and where is here? As we all know, it's a odd, strange, whatever you want to call it, time for hospitality. I think, almost every day there are new hoops to jump through. Today is one of those cases. So, and again, thank you all for being here during this week. I know it's all really mad, but one thing that we have all learned is that we're very resilient. We're innovative. We've bounced back incredibly well, and the signs are really positive. All the stats I'm reading about sales compared to last year in terms of this month, it's really not as low as I anticipated. So it just means that the innovation in the industry is incredible, and that comes through the need to find revenue through other ways. When places were closed, it meant that what you guys have been doing every day in, day out for years just wasn't an option, and so you had to find another way to get some income in, and that's where Toggle is coming in, because then it puts even more emphasis on gift cards, products, and all the other things we've developed that allow people to sell through Toggle. And so tying those two things together in summary, and why we're talking today, is that there's a lot of potential in Toggle to be unlocked, and that the new focus on things like this mean that we can rocket some sales. And talking about rocket some sales, I came across, well, we didn't come across, we chatted about this last week internally, and we whipped up this graph, which is really fascinating. Now, this is showing sales on the Toggle platform between 2019 and 2020. Now it's like for like, so we're only including accounts that were there for the whole of 2019 as well as 2020. So it's not accounting for the increase of customers. So it's just like for like sales. And apart from the obvious dip down there, where lockdown happened, our sales are actually up, which is amazing. And actually, to be honest, I didn't quite expect that. There's still clearly an appetite for people buying people gifts, and you guys being the people who they want to buy from, which is an amazing thing. And if we're looking at the trend of it being an increased sale from last year, you can see the huge growth that we normally get over Christmas. So normally we get about 50% of our sales in November and December for the whole year. And I see no reason why that is not going to be the same again this year, if not more, because people, they've not been spending as much, and actually they want to potentially splash out a bit on Christmas, and you guys are still going to be the people that they go to give that gift to. And the last thing, this little blip here, in case you're wondering, is Black Friday. Now, we will talk about how to do Black Friday on Toggle, how to do Christmas on Toggle in the upcoming webinars. Today is a bit more techie into the platform itself, getting your web shop and your accounts ready for this point right here, the Christmas uptick and the Black Friday uptick. So everything's kind of sorted, and the customer journey is fine. It looks nice, and everything's ready to set up. So did some good alliteration here when I was putting this together. Top 10 Toggle techie tips, which that's 5 words, which I'm quite proud of myself for that, actually. And we're going to split these 10 tips into getting your web shop looking really smart. So that's the customer facing side of it. Getting the after purchase experience, so the emails that they get, getting that really smart. as well as other stuff that I couldn't think of a neat way to categorize it. So there's 2 in there, and I put them in other stuff. And so I'm going to hand over to Stephen now, who's going to take you through some of the tips and then actually show you on the dashboard how to do it. And as you can see on this slide here, so on our first one, at the bottom of each of these slides, we've got a link to an Academy article. Now, the Academy article, well, the Academy, sorry, is where we put all of our support articles, all of our help articles about how to use Toggl online. So every single thing we ever release or talk about, there's an article that explains how to use it, what it is, and what it means for you. And so whilst the link is not useful right now because we're looking at it on a screen, we'll be sending this recording and the presentation out afterwards, and then so there's links for each one of these that you can go and actually do this and set this up on your account yourself. So I will hand over to Stephen, who will launch into custom domain name.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So the first thing we want to talk about is the custom domain name of your web shop. So we're thinking when we're going through these slides, what is the first thing a customer will see when they go onto your web shop? And we're thinking that we might go back to the URL of your web shop. So when you get signed up to Toggl, you get one created for you automatically, and on that URL, it will say your kind of brand name, and it'll also include Toggl's name in it as well. That's all fine, it all works, and you can use that as your web shop URL. But to make it look a little bit nicer, make it look more professional, you can actually customize this. So it reads something like gifts.brandname.co.uk. So it looks neater, it kind of masks the Toggl name. And it means that when you go out to share your web shop URL link on social media, when you post it up onto your website as well, that's the first thing that people actually see when they click onto your web shop. So getting that right is a really good start to making your web shop look all good. So I'm going to show you on our test Toggl account how you go about changing up your custom domain name for your web shop. So you should be able to see my screen. So basically, if you go to customize and then go to domain, basically how it works is, like Andrew said, we've got a link to our support article of how you actually get your custom domain set up. But basically, it takes a little bit of work with your IT team, sort of behind the scenes, to get your custom domain sorted, what's called an A record. They need to sort of set that so it reads something like gifts.brandname.co.uk. Once you've got that sorted out, just add it into here, press save, and basically just let us know that you've done that, and then we can set what's called the SSL, so it all works end to end. And basically you'll have a really nice looking web shop URL, so you can post it out to your social media accounts and put it up onto your website, and it will look very nice. So that's the first thing we want to talk about. And nice. Then yeah, so the next thing that can be done to make your customer journey look good and make your web shop look all top notch is the marketing consent. So this is optional, you don't have to do this, but we think it's a good thing to do. Since it is an option you can do, you might as well make use of it. So basically, during the web shop checkout journey, when a person who's making the purchase for that gift card or experience, before they go to pay for it, there'll be a option to opt in or opt out of marketing consent. So basically, by doing that, you add to your database. You can then send those people who opt in maybe exclusive promotions in the future. So it can help entice those same people back to you, to your web shop, to actually make more purchases in the future. So again, on your Toggl account, I'm going to show you how that all looks and how you can get that set up. So to get your marketing consent set up, if you go to customize and then legal stuff, and then just down here, if you scroll down, you'll see this option for the marketing consent copy. So at the moment, you might have yours switched to off, in which case there's no marketing consent copy on your web shop checkout journey. But like I say, it's very good to have it actually added in. So if you click on, and then you can put in your own custom text into here. So this custom text will show up on the final page of the web shop checkout journey, and the customer can opt in or opt out of that. And for those who have opted in, you'll find out that data from the data section just here. So you can pull through different files, and you can see, you can pull through the emails, email addresses of those people who have opted in, and you can send those people updates and news about your web shop and your gift cards. So that's how you get your marketing consent sorted out.
Nice.
And then following on from marketing consent is just other legal stuff. It's quite an interesting name, legal stuff. Doesn't sound very enticing.
You
And it's
see a
not
bit
really
of a theme there with other stuff and legal stuff, and I don't quite know how to categorize it. Just put the word stuff underneath it and it seems to work.
Yeah, just put stuff in it. Sometimes it works, but basically legal stuff. So we're talking about terms and conditions and privacy policy and a link to those. So again, it's pretty boring stuff, really. I mean, terms and conditions, who reads them? Let's be honest. But it's good to have them in just for a general. It looks kind of good. It's good practice to have them in, and it can help answer any FAQs from customers for any of those people who actually do read terms and conditions. So basically, if I go back to the Toggl Toggl account, I can show you what you need to do. So on the same bit, we'll just on for the marketing consent on customize and legal stuff. If we scroll back up, you basically can link out your privacy policy and your terms and conditions, and basically that will show up at the bottom of your web shop page. So basically you want to put in your privacy policy and terms and conditions on your website already, and yeah, link them to your web shop as well. So if people have questions about your gift cards, they can click onto that and read up about maybe any sort of terms about your gift cards in terms of maybe expiry dates, maybe what they can and can't use a gift card for. So it's definitely something good to have in. It doesn't take any effort to link this, put this onto your Toggl account. And also, if you want to, you can also do another checkbox for the web shop checkout journey. This will appear up next to the marketing consent opt-in as well. And basically, you can have people tick that they have actually read the terms and conditions and agree to it. So you can put your custom text into here, and they can obviously agree to that and continue to make their purchase. I'm going to show you kind of how it looks on the web shop as well. So if I click on my shop link just down here, I'm going to go through what a customer would see with all those things put in. So if I click onto the September gift card, for example, and if I go to add to basket and check out, if I go to choose delivery, put in your email address you want to send that gift card to, and proceed to payment. It's on this page here, you'll see that marketing consent I just mentioned earlier, and also the I agree to the terms and conditions, and the link to those terms and conditions and privacy policies just down here. So that's how you add those things in. So yeah.
I think sorry, Stephen, one thing to mention on the legal stuff. So one of the key things that people want to think about when they're buying gift cards is that expiry date. And the expiry date can change on a product by product basis on Toggl. You can set it to whatever you want, whatever kind of date range after purchase, or actually a specific date as well. And that will always show on the actual gift email. So that's kind of quite front and center. So that really important expiry thing, they don't need to dig into T's and C's to understand the expiry on gift cards. It's very much in the purchase journey as well as actually in the gift email that they receive when they buy it.
Absolutely. Yeah, just right. So the next thing to talk about is adding an experience to your web shop. So the go-to thing is to put a gift card on there, but you can do other things like add experiences on there as well. So it's really good. It gives you another option for people to pick out from on your web shop. It can spark ideas for those customers when they're looking for your web shop for things they can go back to your web shop in the future for, perhaps. And it's something that I think it really helps spread the word of mouth about your web shop and about the things that people can buy on there. So if people go onto your web shop, they may just go just for a gift card, but they might see your experience on there as well. And they might think to themselves, oh, that's quite a good thing for the future. So they might come back to your web shop because of that. And in general, it kind of makes your web shop look nicer, looks more full, looks more kind of versatile with all different things that people can pick out from. So on your Toggl account, I'll show you how you can create an experience. So on the product section just here, click onto there. And then in the top right corner, you can click onto this little add button just here. And then you get this little box come up with all different options you can basically do to create different things on your web shop. So we want to create an experience. So click onto there. And then you get this little form page to fill out. So there's not really much to it. It's only probably half a dozen things to fill out. So you just want to put in your experience names. It could be, also it depends what you guys do, but if you do, if you're a pub or a bar, you might want to do maybe rum tasting experiences maybe. So you want to put that into here as a title. So when people go onto your web shop, they'll see that instantly. That's a rum tasting experience. You can add some description and long description that will again show up on your web shop as well. So you can let people know what that experience is all about, any kind of little rules around it in terms of how many people they can invite. Maybe it could be up to 4 people for rum tasting, for example. You can add a nice picture into here that will show up on your web shop as well. And then you can add in your values for that. You can add some subcategories to it as well. So you could do rum tasting for 2 people, rum tasting for 4 people, and so on, and add the relevant value options for each one. You can also set a number, a limit to how many people can purchase this experience. This is quite good actually if you want to really entice people to make a purchase whilst that experience is still available. So you want to put a limit of, let's say, 30 purchases for a particular experience. And if you want to, you can have that number also display on your web shop as well. So when someone buys maybe this rum tasting experience, it'll go from 30 down to, let's say, 29 or 26 or something. And then people will see that when they go onto your web shop. And basically, it might entice them to actually make that purchase whilst it's still available. And when it gets down to 0, it will say sold out and people can't buy that particular experience anymore. So it's quite a good marketing strategy just to really entice sales. So it's definitely something worth looking into. You also want to set some validity rules as always. Typically you might want to put 12 months for an experience to be valid for. And you can also set a reminder/expiry email as well. So let's say 4 weeks before that gift or experience is due to expire, an automatic email gets sent to that person to remind them to quickly use it whilst it's still available. So that's in a nutshell how you create an experience. It's very quick and very easy. There's not too much to it.
And another lovely thing about experiences is that, so Stephen, you gave a really good example of a rum masterclass, which is great and no doubt sell very well. But actually a nice thing about an experience is that you don't have to have a huge operational overhead or thought process to get to an experience. You know, it can be something you're already doing, but just packaged up so people can understand that, you know, a brunch for 2, for example, you know, you're already doing it, but actually if you put that on your web shop as a separate thing to purchase, it just kind of, it's something that people can really latch onto, something concrete, you know, is more giftable, or even purchase them for themselves, and they can potentially at a discount if you wanted to do that, but we'll come on to that kind of stuff in the next webinars. So yeah, it's a really nice way of just adding a bit more substance to the web shop, and a bit more marketability. Terrible word, but there it is. Yeah, it's really lovely, and it doesn't need to be this big operational overhead.
Absolutely, and a good point, Andrew, as well. You can actually maybe go through, also it depends what you do, but you can go through your menu pages, you can go through your website and just see what you can actually package up as an experience to put onto your web shop. So there's a lot of potential to creating an experience on Toggl.
Okay, so that was a few basic web shop tips. We're now on to the after purchase journey. So there's 4 more tips in here. I'll introduce these ones. So the first one is a reminder email. So Stephen touched on this for the experience, and you can set a reminder email for a normal gift card as well, and anything that is about to expire. Now, what a reminder email actually is that, say, 2 weeks or 4 weeks before the value of the card is set to hit 0, Toggl will send an email automatically out to the person who's purchased it, or the recipient, depending on which details we have. Excuse me. It will send an email out just letting them know how much value is on the card, reminding them that they've got it, and encouraging them to come in. I think this one's really important because we want people to come and visit. You know, as tempting as an expired card value is, you know, it's free money in inverted commas. I think it's much more valuable to have a visit. You know, even disregarding money, it's on a brand level, to have a card just kind of fall by the wayside is nowhere near as good as having someone actually come, have an amazing experience, bring a friend, talk about it, and then you never know how many more word of mouth sales that brings on afterwards. And also, purely on a money basis, people very rarely stop spending at the value of their gift card, because they've already got that £20 perhaps. And so they're going to come in and spend 30 quid or 40 quid, and they're not going to come in alone, they're going to bring a friend as well. So the reminder emails are really nice, just an extra little nudge just to get people to come in and spend with you and love what you do. And Stephen will just show you how that works.
So I'm just going back to what I mentioned on the creating an experience. If you go to the product section just here. So on this page, you can see kind of all the gifts and experiences you created in the past. So if you click onto one of these, let's say the Joiner's Kitchen gift card, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see this Edit Custom Email button. So if I click onto there, again, I get this form page come up that gives you options to fill in your subject line, instructions on how to redeem the gift card, a bit of company description, and a call to action button. So it's quite good, to create this. Basically, so depending on what kind of gift you've created, you might want to send off a different kind of email to them. I'll touch upon this a little bit more in a second. So go back to the reminder email as well. If I go to customize and then go to expiry emails here, again, you've got another form page to fill out. It's very simple. So you just fill in your subject line, your reply to email address, a bit of reminder text, so you just also let them know, to quickly come into venue to spend their gift card before it's too late. You can add a bit more information into here as well. And again, you can put a call to action button in as well. So you can link them to your menu page, to a book now option maybe, and all that kind of stuff. So you want to fill this out. It will take probably 5 minutes to do. And once you finish doing this, you can also preview your email as well, just to see kind of how it looks. So that's how you create yourself a reminder email.
Beautiful. Stephen, you jumped the gun. You killed my vibe. So the next one is custom emails. And again, so by default, Toggle we have a kind of it will send the same email for any of the products on the web shop, save for the image that you upload, the value of the purchase, of course, if it's a monetary gift card, and the name of the product as well, and everything else is the same. But actually, with custom emails, you can go into each individual one and write out specific instructions, perhaps for that particular product. So this is particularly important for experiences where you may have a different booking link, or you may have different instructions on, I don't know, where to go for this particular thing, or how to redeem this card, or how to access this experience, or what to say when you get there. So this custom email link kind of goes nicely with experiences, and that actually just create a much slicker customer journey where there's no confusion. You're not sending out just a standard email for any of the purchases, and so your staff know, your customers know what's going on. It's really simple.
So yeah, I'll show you how you do a custom email very quickly. Okay, so basically I was just pretending I didn't actually make a mistake just there, and I wasn't just showing you custom emails before the reminder email. So yeah, if you go to products and click onto a gift card, for example, you've already created, let's say the Joiner's Kitchen gift card, and you can scroll down to the bottom and click on Edit Custom Email. And again, you've got a form page to fill out, so it's quite quick and quite simple to get done. Obviously, put in your subject line. It could be something more relevant to a particular gift card that's been purchased. Put in some instructions on how to redeem it. So depending on the gift card, it might be slightly different potentially. And again, you can put in a different call to action button depending on the type of gift card that the person has received. So you want to link them to a book now button. You might want to link them to the menu page, whatever kind of works for that particular gift card that's been purchased.
Nice. Okay. And then we are now on to QR code in digital gift emails, I should say, actually. Just noticed a mistake, sorry about that. Our digital gift cards they come in emails, and those emails have a long code on it, which is the gift card number. And so when they come to redeem it, they'll put in that code either into your till or into our web-based redemption called POS mode. And then that's how we recognize what card it is. So you can now switch on a feature that just puts in a QR code into your email, which essentially shortcuts the input of that number. And so it's much quicker for your staff. They don't have to type out a number. It's quicker for the customers, and everyone loves a QR code nowadays, especially with track and trace. It seems to be the thing now. So in order to actually, Stephen will show you how to stick it on your emails, but in operationally, so for the redemptions, it's important to note that you will require a external scanner for the moment for I don't know, the next 2 weeks, an external scanner if you're using a laptop or a tablet or something like that. They're just Bluetooth. We've got them in the office. They're very simple, but we are building into POS mode a way to just do the QR code scanning using the camera on a tablet or a phone. So that'll be much slicker. If you've got tills, then yeah, you'll need a QR code scanner plugged into your tills to access it as well.
Absolutely, and just to show you how you get a QR code added to your gift emails, if you go to settings and then general, you get a few little tick boxes to put in here. So there's a question here, so use QR codes in card emails, and just put this to yes. And basically on your the gift email or digital products email, if you click on preview email here, you can kind of see roughly what it would look like. So the long card number will show up here, but also the QR code as well.
Yeah, it's really lovely that. I like a QR code. Okay, and so to personal message or not to personal message. So we're talking about physical cards here. So when we first launched Toggle, you can put in personal messages in your gifts, as you should be able to. And when we first launched Toggle, that was just the default for both digital and physical. For digital cards, it's absolutely fine. It didn't pose any sort of problems because the message just drops into the email, absolutely fine. For physical cards, we had some clients that were, some togglers, sorry, that were so busy that they were getting hand ache, and just the time it was taking to write all of these messages when they were sending out cards, especially during Christmas. And so we added a feature in where you can switch off the ability to add in personal messaging in physical cards, just purely to make it easier for you guys. So it cuts workload for you if you want to do this. However, it's a great opportunity for us to plug our fulfillment. So we can pick and package and post your physical cards completely for you. We've got a warehouse, we store them, and we send them out. And with that service, it's just a standard that the personal message goes with that. So if you want to chat to us about fulfillment, especially in the run up to Christmas, please do. Yeah, we're really pleased to talk about that. It's such a beautiful service, and people who are on it are just like, oh, so good. It just takes up such a load off their mind. So we can chat about that. But if you are filling your own cards, Stephen will show you how to switch off the personal message in those if you'd like that.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. So on your Toggle account, if you go back to the settings bit and then click onto general, again, there's an option up here, so allow customers to add personal message to physical card orders. So if you don't want that to be possible, just click no, and then you don't have to bother about any kind of personal messages when fulfilling any physical gift cards, and that's it.
Dream. Okay, right, last two tips in the other stuff category now. Take it away, Stephen.
Sure. So locations is quite important, particularly over lockdown. Things have changed, unfortunately. So some venues may have closed down, but you may have also added some new venues to your brand. So you want to make sure those are added into your Toggle account and that your EPOS provider is sort of linked up to Toggle with those extra locations. So I'll show you kind of where they kind of sit. So I share my screen. So if I go to this little red icon down in the bottom of your sidebar of your Toggle account, and if I click on to subscription, And on this page, it'll kind of show you all the different sites that are linked to your Toggle accounts and through your tills as well. So basically, if you're with a EPOS provider like Comtrex or Zonal, we'll need to get site reference and EPOS site reference from them, just so the tills and Toggle are connected. And this is important so that, when someone goes into that venue with a gift card, it can be redeemed through the tills, and also it makes for accurate reporting as well. If you're using POS mode, you don't need to worry about this too much. You just had to add in just the site location, and you can add in any old number into here for it to appear up on POS mode as a location to pick out from. And yeah, that's kind of the by and large of how to add locations to that. If you need any help with that, of course, I'm around to help you talk to your EPOS provider and get that information.
Yeah, it's particularly important for, well, obviously to actually be able to redeem the cards, but for the reporting, at the end of the day, you need to reconcile how much cards you've redeemed against what you've taken, just make the books balance. And so when you run the reports, you need your location set up correctly so that, yeah, it all balances and you know what's going on. Okay.
And then finally, Tag Manager. So we put very, very well the mysterious art of internet clever stuff. I might just leave it at that, to be honest. Basically, we got a support article linked on this presentation that we can link you to. So it's got all the information you need about using Tag Manager, including a video as well. So it'll really help you get this set up. So basically, the bottom line of it is you can create tags and triggers. So when people go into your web shop, you can create kind of ads around that particular person's interaction with the web shop and so on. So it's a very useful thing to have, particularly in the run up to Christmas, as more people go into your web shop. You want to sort of keep track of what's going on and really sort of make the most of getting people back onto that web shop and buying more in the future. And that's Tag Manager. So I'll show you on your account as well how you go about setting that up. So obviously separately on Google Tag Manager, you want to create a container ID. Once you've done this, you just go to Settings and then General. And then down at the bottom, you want to paste in your Tag Manager container ID into here. And then that's that basically sorted out.
Yeah, it's Tag Managers. It's an interesting one. It's almost every week there's something new that I learn that you can do with it. I remember when Revolution got their account set up with us, and we saw a little what was it, Stephen, like a help chat bot type thing on the bottom of their Toggle web shop, which is your own custom HTML area. So it does take some knowledge on the kind of the Google side of things to get everything set up to then just paste in that tag into Toggle. But there's some really lovely things you can do with it and some great learning. So it's quite advanced stuff if you want to really take the Toggle selling almost e-commerce style approach to it to the next level. This is definitely a good thing to do. It's really, really nice. And that concludes our top 10 Toggle techie tips. So when I wrote it, I didn't anticipate that it would be so difficult to say. I shot myself in the foot there. So there they are. We're not going to run through them again, but we will send this recording out and this presentation out, and the presentation has the links into the articles for each one of those things. And by themselves, they're very small things, but when you have them all up and layer them on, it creates a much slicker experience for yourselves and your customers. And going right back to the beginning, we're in that critical time now where now is the time to do this stuff, where sales are ticking along nicely, but we're about to hit Black Friday, we're about to hit Christmas, and the next couple of webinars that we do will be much more about that kind of thing, actually kind of the campaigns that you can do with selling. So things like, well, really simply in Black Friday, how to discount cards, and there's a couple of ways of doing that, but equally how to do added value campaigns. So, buy a £20 gift card but have £30 to spend, or date limited redemption, so restricting when cards can be redeemed. There's loads of amazing stuff, and we've released a lot of features during lockdown as well, things like pay it forward campaigns that we're going to get our teeth stuck into as well. But today was very much about getting your web shop set up right, and so all the little bits are just working the little nuts and bolts of it, ready for the amazing Christmas we're definitely going to have. So that's it. I think we will end it there. Thank you so much for joining. I've really enjoyed it. I think it went all right.
Went quite well. Yeah.
Yeah,
For a first
it
time,
was,
it's not bad.
yeah, and yeah, can't wait to do the second one and the third one. I think we'll be having some different speakers as well, and we'll talk about some different topics, of course. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much.
Nice one. Thank you.